Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and I'm here with the Rapid Fire Critique. That's the AdoramaPIX Rapid Fire Critique. That's where you submit 10 of your images to me, either in a photo story or just 10 images that you would like to hear what I have to say. And it's my job to do this as well, not as fast as possible, but it's rapid fire. Try to give you good feedback that can help you take the images to the next level if they need to be taken. So what you can do if you'd like to submit your images is come over here and click on Submit Photos, and then you've got the Rapid Fire Critique box. Just fill it in, send me a link to your work, and I will hopefully pick it to do an AdoramaPIX Rapid Fire Critique. So here we go. We've got Jason Brown with these photos. These were taken with a D50, that's right, a Nikon D50 with an 18-55 kit lens. I have to say, this is done really well. Nice shallow depth of field. I want to check something out on this real quick. Let's see, ISO 455 millimeters, 5.6, using the 18-55. So the reason it's at 5.6 is that at 55 millimeters, the variable aperture lens, that means that the aperture changes as you zoom. So it's one thing at 18, it's another thing at 55. So it's 5.6. So to blow out the background here, you did a great job. You can see the narrow focus area right here. I don't think it was done after the fact. I think it's just a very deep background, and it goes to show you that you can really play with focus. I don't think it's fake. It gives me a feeling that maybe it is, but anyway, it's beside the point. We've got a sun setting, it seems like, with a flower or a tree or whatever this is, a plant growing out of a dock or something. And you've got the sun setting in the background. I think this would be water and waves there. I think it's a nice shot. I like the color. I like the tone. I like what's going on here. So not much I would change with this image. Moving forward, we've got this. Deer tracks. I guess it would help to read it. Very interesting. It's cropped. I can see that by the way that by the way it's cropped, by the aspect ratio here. It doesn't do too much to me. If I didn't know that it said deer tracks, I wouldn't know what we were looking at. So that I find to be very interesting, or maybe not that interesting. So there's not too much in this image that is grabbing me, and I'm not sure what lens it is because this time it doesn't tell me. Well, that's probably because it was cropped and it lost all its data. So this image doesn't do very much for me. Maybe if it was taken from straight down and put into context that there was deer hair or something like that, but we'll move on from there. So this is duck hunt. So I guess the latest fashion trend is to wear a ski hat and a hat. Nonetheless, I like the clarity and sharpness of this image. I like what's going on in it. The only thing that throws me off is that it's cockeyed. I can see in the background these are trees, and the trees don't run this way. Trees are run up and down primarily, unless you veer their pattern for how they grow. If this image was just straight up and down, I think it would be a much stronger image, and I would be more happy with it. But I do like the shot in terms of the clarity and the tone. Maybe a little bit more kick and a little more contrast would take it to the next level, but it's a nice shot. I definitely do like that. So we've got this shot of a guy sitting with a frog. It's, in terms of color and composition, it's done very well. In terms of interest, it doesn't have a lot of interest going on. It's more of a snapshot type image. So this isn't an image that I would use if I was building a portfolio. And I'm not saying that you're trying to build a portfolio, Jason, but this isn't an image that I would use to show somebody to wow them in my mind. If it was just the frog, though, I think it would have more interest. And if it was black and white and just the frog, I think it would convey some kind of tone, because you would be like, well, what is going on here? Why is there a frog that's black and white just sitting here? What's that all about? So that's what I have to say about that one. Yawning. So we've got a young lady, it looks like, here. Can't tell if it's cropped, but there's a lot of distortion in this lens. It's probably the 18-55 again. Oh no, or the 55-200. So yeah, there's some distortion going on there. I'm a fan of tight shots, but I'm a fan of tight shots that give you some feel of what's going on in the scene. Now I see it's about the reflection in the glasses. That's one thing, but I don't think it's strong enough by itself. I think it needs more contrast to get rid of this area over here. I think if it was composed differently, where it was like cutting off. You didn't have this dead area here or here that I'm trying to cut my hand up here. Basically from here of the hood down, so all you would see is hood on the left-hand side of the frame. If the person wasn't right in the middle and they were thrown off to the side, I think it would be much stronger. This would go, I think you can save this image with a creative crop where you would do it here to here, I think would be aspect ratio proper. Convert it to black and white and do an extreme contrast, very thick blacks, very thick whites, and I think it would be I think it would save this image. So moving forward, I like the creative nature that's going on here. I like that the pier in the marina is in the background. I like that you've got the people's feet, the boardwalks there. I like this. Try black and white. I'd be interested to see what the black and white would look like. And, you know, when I say this about cropping, I don't crop my own personal work, but there's nothing wrong with doing a creative crop if that's what you had in mind for your image. You are the photographer. You dictate the composition and what you like the most. Don't let anybody tell you that, you know, just because I don't crop, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't crop. If you feel that that works for you, then by all means, go for it, go with it, and own it. And just make sure it looks good. This works well. I'd like to see a black and white, pump up the exposure a little bit, so that the feet and legs come out more, and the high contrast, I think, would make this a cool image as well. But on its own, I think it's strong. Nice job. This is a cool shot of this kid. Okay, again, we've got the cockeyed angles. It doesn't hurt me as much here, but if you feel this, do you feel like we're running downhill now that I pointed out the horizon is running like this? It messes with my equilibrium even just looking at it. It kind of creates tension in the image. Now, sometimes tension is good in images, but in this case, it kind of hurts me. I like the look of the kid's face. He looks just like, hey, contemplative, looking at the camera. But if it was horizontal, level, if the kid was off to the side a little more and you were straight on, high contrast, black and white, boom, this image would take it to the next level. It's a good start, and I think it's definitely there for you to work on. It's really close. Nice job. Moving on to this, we got the same kid laughing. We can tell that this is a D50. You can see a lot of the noise in there. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. While you're learning, it's about the image and capturing it. You did a great job capturing this image. He's nice and sharp. Sure, there's a lot of noise, but that's not what I'm looking at. That doesn't take it away from me. I think it's a good photo in terms of if you could wrap it in the context of a story that's going on. On its own, I don't think it holds terribly too much weight. Not nearly as much as this. This is a grabbing image. It's in the eyes, it's in the face, it's in the look. Sure, he's smiling in this one, but what else is going on? There's not much else going on in the scene. Not ripping it apart, just saying that I like the one before this a little better based on the scene. I like the soccer ball, and I like that there's the people in the background. I like that you can see the field here and the ball. You got the ball with the field in the background. It's a good editorial shot. This would be a good shot to lead off a portfolio about soccer, or the parking lot with soccer and the crowd. It's a good shot to have in there. You have this, then you've got action shots, and I think that that's a good start to doing something with soccer pictures. My nose itches, excuse me. This is a very nice football shot. You know, obviously the guy going up with one hand, I don't know if he's catching that. The way he's looking doesn't look like he's catching that, and the way that this guy's here seems like he's not making much of an effort. But I want to see what this was taken at, and with F9, okay. Using the, well, we saw, 55 to 200. All right, so let me just go through this real quick. This is a good educational thing. There's no reason to shoot this at F9. Actually, I want to go back and see one other thing. 1/640th of a second, 1600 ISO, F9, eek. Okay, so the reason I'm going eek is because you're outside. This shot does not have to be taken 1 at 1600 ISO and 2 at F9. So if we go to F8, we go to F5.6, you're getting 2 stops. At most, you should be at 800 ISO outside for this. You should still get a fast shutter speed, but the reason you would want to shoot at 5.6, which is wide open with this lens, is that you want this background to fade away. You don't want to see these cones in the background. You don't want these trees in the background distracting me, like this gray box is distracting me from the image. So what you can do, even with the 55 to 200 that you have, you were zoomed out to 200, that's great. but get that f-stop as wide open as possible. So that's 5.6. That's why you see a lot of pros when they have the 400 millimeters, the 500 millimeters, the 600s. If it's a 600 f4, they're shooting it at 600 f4 because they want to blow out that background. So it's a great shot. It's a great capture. You froze the motion. You've done a great job with your settings. You can do it a little better at 5.6 than at f9 where the background is completely in focus. But I really think you're on a great path, especially shooting with the D50, using the gear that you have. Great job. Let's go through this again. This is a great shot. This would lead well into a photo story. This one, we know what I say. This is much stronger. I like it. Just a few little corrections for the future when you're shooting it. It's still a strong image, but remember, try not to be too cockeyed. Get straight onto your subject. Throw them off to the side in this one a little more, and play with some black and white and see how it looks. Nice job. Strong image there. Excuse me. Not so much a strong image, but can be saved with a creative crop. High contrast black and white. I think it would work that way. The frog image, doesn't do much for me because it's just a guy sitting on a kid sitting there, just sitting there. Not much going on. This was a nice shot. I would just like to see it straightened up a little bit, pumped up a little bit in the contrast. A little bit more of exposure with a little contrast will fill this in and make it pop a little more. Nice job. The deer hoof, the deer tracks don't do much for me, but this shot is really strong. Very nice cross-section of images from sports to close-ups to people. Really nice job. Like what you did here, Jason. And what I'm going to do for you, Jason, I'm going to send you an AdoramaPIX certificate, or they'll email it to you, but I want to get you a photo book. So it's going to be a 12:9 photo book, so you can have a portfolio of whatever images you want. Go ahead, enjoy it. They're going to send it to you. I'll have them contact you so you can get that book. And if you guys are looking for good photo books, AdoramaPIX has those. I've been using them for a couple years now, and I think it's a great way to display your images in a real photographic print in a nice hardback book. So Jason, nice job here. I look forward to seeing what your book looks like. So that is the AdoramaPIX Rapid Fire Critique. Don't forget that you could submit your images here by clicking Submit Photos and Rapid Fire Critique. Until the next time, Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.